Hello and welcome to DuckTales Character Comparison, where I compare a character from the original series to its 2017 counterpart. How are they the same? How are they different? And which version is better? In today's video, I'm going to talk about the one who gets stuck with all the bad luck, Donald Duck. Appearance. Donald is one of Disney's most iconic characters. So, obviously, they aren't going to change his appearance too much. Both Donalds are wearing a sailor suit. The difference lies in the type of sailor suit they have on. The 87 Donald is wearing a navy outfit, while the reboot Donald has on his traditional outfit. The 87 Donald wore a blue shirt with red stripes around the wrist, a dark blue tie, and a white navy cap. The 2017 Donald wears a black shirt with yellow buttons and white stripes around the wrist, no tie, and a white sailor hat. The color choice of his shirts are interesting. Donald was known for wearing a blue shirt in the classic cartoons. It's about as iconic as Mickey's red shorts. Whereas, in the comics, he tends to wear a black shirt. So the 87 Donald represents his animated appearance, while the reboot Donald represents his comic appearance. The reboot Donald did start off wearing a blue sailor suit, but he wears the black one for the most part. A more subtle difference is the whites of their eyes. The 87 Donald is light blue, which was also true for the other characters from the show. They are also light blue in the classic shorts. The 2017 Donald has white. This is also true for the other characters. Personality. Much like his appearance, Donald's personality is well known. Disney will not change it too much. Both Donalds have a temper, often run into bad luck, and they care about their nephews. We see the difference between them starting with their attitude towards Uncle Scrooge. The 87 Donald has a great deal of respect for the old tightwad. He tells Huey, Dewey, and Louie to behave during their stay with Scrooge. When Scrooge asked why he was leaving them in his care, Donald replies, "You're the only one I trust with them." The reboot Donald doesn't think highly of Scrooge. You could cut the tension with a knife when these two see each other for the first time in years. Instead of telling the boys to behave themselves, Donald tells Scrooge to behave himself. He also asked, "Can you watch them without losing them?" The only reason why Donald was leaving Huey, Dewey, and Louie in Scrooge's care is because he had no other choice. Why is there so much tension between them? It goes back to before the nephews were hatched. Scrooge had built a rocket called the Spear of Selene as a gift for Della. It was meant to be given to her after the boys were hatched, but Della took the rocket and ended up stranded on the moon. Donald blamed Scrooge for what happened, and they didn't speak to each other for years. This brings me to the next difference between the Donalds: why they left their nephews with Scrooge. The 87 Donald did it because he joined the Navy and would be gone for a long time. You could say he was off to seek adventure. Donald in the reboot would have never done that. Prior to the nephew's birth, he had been all over the world with Scrooge and Della. The Navy wouldn't have shown him anything he hadn't already seen. Besides, he had more freedom with them than he ever would in the Navy. Della wanted to go to the moon before the boys were hatched, but Donald was against the idea. They even had a heated argument about it. Donald felt the trip would be too dangerous. With the boys on the way, it wouldn't be worth the risk. He was proven right when Della ended up stuck on the moon. It has often been said that having kids changes your priorities. The 2017 Donald is proof of that. He no longer valued adventure. Instead, he settled into a domestic life, raising the boys on his own. He is extremely overprotective of them, probably because of what happened to Della. He never told them about his adventures, nor did he ever say anything about their mom. This Donald put his past completely behind him, for the sake of the boys. He left them in Scrooge's care to go on a job interview. This Donald really made a lot of sacrifices for the boys. Both the 87 and 2017 Donald love their nephews. The only difference is that for the 2017 Donald, family is his whole world. He uses that love to channel his anger. Even though he learns not to be overprotective of the boys, Donald would still rather just relax at home rather than go off on some adventure. We see this when he wishes for his family to have a normal life, like you see in old sitcoms. Roll on the show. Both Donalds would go on adventures with Scrooge and the boys. Sometimes they are the reason for the adventure, whether it be Scrooge trying to get naval contracts, or the gang visiting Donald's old bandmates, Jose and Panchito, for a reunion. We see how badly they can screw things up, and how they take charge to fix things. Oftentimes, they are not part of the adventure. The reason for that is different. Donald in the 87 DuckTales was just a recurring character, only appearing in 8 episodes of the show's 100-episode run. There are conflicting reports behind his limited role. Some say it was due to Disney placing a restriction on the use of their popular characters, like Donald in Saturday morning cartoons. Others say it was because Disney felt that Donald's voice would be too hard to understand for an adventure show. There are even some who claim that there was a fear that Donald would overshadow Scrooge. I tend to think there's a grain of truth to all these rumors. Donald in the 2017 DuckTales is one of the main characters. The reason why he wouldn't be part of the adventures is because he prefers not to. He just wants to relax. We also see him worry about mundane things, like trying to get a loan, his boat catching fire, and getting himself locked in the pantry. When he does join in, Donald proves to be someone you can rely on. Which one is better? The 2017. Was there any doubt? Donald in the reboot has more to do and is surprisingly more fleshed out than I ever seen him. This has led to many heartwarming moments with the character. My favorite Donald moment was when he reunited with Della. What is the first thing they do after seeing each other for the first time in years? They yell at one another. It was pretty funny. Then they hugged each other. If I ever made a top 10 most heartwarming moments list, this would be on there. I've never really minded that the 87 Donald was only a recurring character. Then the 2017 DuckTales came out. I finally saw how much missed opportunity there was by limiting Donald's role. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later.